So let's see if you can camp in a minivan. This is Marshall from Nomadic Adventures. Let's see if he's home. Good
Hello,
morning, Marshall. How you doing?
good. How are you?
Pretty good. This is Marshall, and your channel name?
Nomadic Adventures.
Very cool. So you have a really nice minivan. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Absolutely. So this is a 2013 Dodge Grand Caravan, and I was able to find this van used, and I had saved up some money, so I was able to just buy the van outright for around a little under $7,000. And that's what I suggest you can do if you can do it, if you can swing that, is to save up and buy something that might be gently used.
Sure. And this is a Dodge?
That's correct. It's a Dodge. It's a V6, and I get anywhere on the highway. I get anywhere from 24 to 28 miles to the gallon. In the city, it's in the 16 to 18 range.
Okay, and you've had good luck with it so far?
I've had really good luck with it. I love the gas mileage and fuel efficiency. I also just love the tiny footprint of this vehicle.
Sure. Okay, and so you can do some stealth camping with this unit. You can park different places and put your sunscreens up, and no one really knows you're there.
Exactly right. And what I do to help kind of regulate the temperature inside the van, because with the hot sun beaming in, this is my 12-volt refrigerator right here to the right of me, and I don't want the sun to be constantly on it, so I have some blackout curtains, and I'll leave these up all the time just to help regulate some of the temperatures inside the van. The hotter it is inside, the harder the refrigerator will have to work. So I just keep these up. These are on tension rods that you would have in your house, in your window, and I can take these out if I want to have a nice view, or I can just leave it in, and it's just a pressure fit. And I really, oh, there it goes. I really like having those in there.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, they just,
so you can pop them out, pop them in really easy.
Exactly.
Okay. Cool.
Except normally it's closed when I do that.
Yep.
But it's fine.
All right, and so you put a floor in. We talked about that in the last tour that we did on your van, and I'll link a description in the description on how you did that. But can you give us a brief summary of how you built the floor?
So with the floor, what I did, because the reason I put the floor in, because the back of the van is taller, and as you go towards the driver's seat, it gets the floor goes lower.
Okay.
So I want it to have a flat surface.
Okay.
Also, this floor is a composite waterproof floor that comes with its own underlayment, and they just snap together.
Nice.
Like a tongue and groove.
Easy to assemble, and you get good wear out of it.
Exactly. And I think I just bought one box, and I still had quite a bit left over from that box.
Oh, okay.
So, because I only did what you can see here.
Right. And obviously you took all the seats out.
And,
and discarded those and put the floor in. Okay. Right. And you said you had a refrigerator here. That's a 12-volt refrigerator?
Yes. And this is a 12-volt compressor refrigerator made by IceCo.
Nice.
I love this brand. I love this refrigerator. They send you the case that's fitted for the model you're using. And one cool thing is it does have a light, so at night you can kind of see what's going on.
Oh, when you pop the lid, you have a nice light.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's not super bright, but it does help.
Sure.
And it has a removable basket. So this is awesome for when you need to clean inside the fridge. You can take this entire thing out.
Oh, nice.
And this fridge is it's not a dual zone, but it could be a refrigerator or a freezer. So you can just kind of choose which one you want to do. I have mine set as a refrigerator. And also at night, I use these lights here. It's a magnetic, let me see here. It's commercial electric. These are rechargeable lights. There's 3 different modes on these, high, medium, and low brightness level. It's got a little bar there that you can hang it from something, but it also has this magnet, which is super handy. And it has also magnets on these 2 sides.
Oh, nice.
But what I've done is I just used the magnet here on an existing bolt that I'm using for the header and my upright piece here. And I just keep it there. And so it's like my door light. When I come in, I can hit the button, turn on the light, access the fridge if I need to get in there.
So approximately how much did you pay for those?
I think I got a 2-pack of these for $20
nice.
Home Depot.
Okay, nice.
Yep.
Okay. And you're sitting on your bed, so you built your bed, and it looks very comfortable.
This is just a simple bed build. If you look underneath here, you can see that it's just 2x4 frame that I've painted green, and then on the top it's a 1/2 inch piece of plywood.
Okay.
And I have additional storage all underneath of the bed.
Mm-hmm.
The bed measures 30 inches wide by 75 inches long, I believe. And it takes up 30 inches, so you don't have much left to work with, much space, but it's a great size, in my opinion, because you can lounge on here. You can use it as a couch, like during the day. If I'm in here, I can use the back of my kitchen cabinet as a backrest.
Oh, nice.
I can sit here.
Looks very comfortable.
I can get my laptop out, or if I want to sit over here to the side, I also have a way. I have a flip down. I call it a desk. I don't really know what you would call it, but here is where I can have a drink. I can use this cell phone holder to have YouTube playing at night as I'm sitting here. I got my drink. I could have a snack, or I could put my laptop here and work here. And so that's really nice. I love having this little cubby here. And
you built this yourself?
I did, and I've used basically 1x3s and 1/4 inch plywood to build this entire thing. And it's got 4 different levels. So on the top level, it's a lot of storage with bathroom stuff, things that you don't use necessarily all the time, but I have hand sanitizer, Band-Aids, scissors. I've tried to think of everything I would have in my house because my goal is to go full-time. And so, you know, I didn't want to be without anything that I would need on the road and then have to rebuy it. So I've tried to just use things that I already had at my house and just transfer them over to finding a space for them here in the van, which I highly suggest you do. Start with everything you already have. Get yourself a list going, and then compare that to another list that you can find on my website at nomadic.com that kind of tells you what you need, and you can compare the two and see, oh, I don't have this or that, or, you know, you can kind of see what you need from there.
Okay, so you can give folks advice that go to your website, mellownomadic.com, and you show them and talk about what does it take and what things should you consider if you're thinking about moving into nomadic life. And it's not just minivans, right? It's basically everything in general. Like you said, make a list of what you think you'll need, and of course you have to downsize if you're going to sell your house and move out, and those things. So there's a lot of information on your website.
Yes, exactly. And you know, it's a growing website. I'm trying to add more info to really help the nomadic community and people who might not know where to start, because I know when I was getting into it, it's like information overload. There's so many different channels and websites out there that are telling you one thing and another. So I found that it was helpful to find a couple key channels to follow, and they really helped me, like, inspire me to create my own website so that I could do the same and create a central resource. So.
Right, and you've been doing this for a little while. You can stay out in your van. I mean, how long have you stayed out in your van at one time?
So I can stay out in this van. I have enough water. As long as I have enough water, really. I have a 5-gallon container, plus I have another gallon water storage container. I can stay for about 2 weeks.
Okay. And what's the longest period of time that you have lived out of your van?
So I have been, one time I did a big road trip. It was actually in 2022, and it was about 4 months.
4 months?
Yeah, okay. In one time. So it was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Okay, I see you have a fan over there. Is that a 12 volt?
This is a 12 volt fan, and I also have a battery powered fan. This fan was gifted to me by my aunt. Hi, Aunt Sheila. And she gave me this fan. They used to use this fan when they went camping down in Patagonia, Arizona. I believe it's in Arizona.
Yeah, it is.
And they just didn't have a use for this fan anymore until they gave it to me. And I love it because it goes side to side, has oscillating action, and I just have it I actually have it clipped to where the seat belt, it's an existing piece of the van.
Okay.
I just have it clipped right there.
Nice. So that fits well.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm looking at your modification back here, your wood
Yep.
cabinet shelving unit. And so you put your jackery in there and other miscellaneous things, and I see some YouTube stickers on there as well.
Yes, so this is probably the newest addition out of things that I've built. I needed some additional clothes storage. I noticed I had a bunch of space up here that wasn't being used. So I built this, and I built it in a way so that I could still access my drink holder right here.
Oh, I see.
So,
okay, and that comes already in the van.
Yeah, so it comes already in the van, so I can put my water there.
Oh, I see.
Right now I just have like my ketchup stash, carbon monoxide detector, and I actually added some LED lights under here, so this all lights up, and I have a strip here that lights up, and there's also a strip underneath that step, and yeah, and I have my little Buddha candle holder back here.
Sure. Very nice. So we talked about the last tour we did, that you installed a bulkhead in here, as you call it.
Yep.
So that's basically separating the front cab from the main living area.
Exactly.
And how is that working out for you?
I love having this here. It gives me not only the ability to hang this blackout thermal curtain, which is just attached with, this is just pop up, it's just attached with snaps, so I can just unsnap this. And these are snaps you can get on Amazon, and I installed these snaps myself. Very easy to do. And so if I wanted to, I could take this down and have sunlight in here.
Sure.
But most of the time I just keep it up. It helps regulate how much dust gets everywhere.
Because we are in the desert. It's a lot of dust.
Yeah. So a great thing about this bulkhead is it gives you the ability to hang little hooks, which I use a lot of. My Boxman D keychain. These starlights, I use what's called sticky gel packs, and I just have little bitty pieces that I've cut every few inches, and that's what actually is holding these lights there.
Oh, nice.
These are battery powered lights, so I try to get rechargeable items or battery powered items as much as possible. But I also, with having this bulkhead, I was able to add a hook and attach this clothes holder. I already had this bar, and I thought, well, how could I attach it? So I attached one end here to the bulkhead and the other end to the existing, where you would normally hang a shirt or something.
Okay. So you use existing equipment that comes in the van.
Exactly. And this bar I had from a previous vehicle, so I thought, why not try to use it?
Sure.
And it's a perfect spot to mount my walking stick to store it when I'm not using it. And Roy and Becky, shout out to Roy and Becky for gifting me this walking stick. Really awesome.
Very nice.
Yep.
All right. Okay, so let's take a walk around to the back. This is my favorite part of this build. So that's your living quarters, your sleeping quarters.
Living, sleeping, hang out.
And look at this.
So this
is your galley, is that correct?
That's correct. And when I originally started, I had a 2-burner cook stove and all kinds of cooking gear. And then I get out to the desert and I'm like, well, I'm just one person cooking for myself right now. So it was kind of overkill. So I've downsized to a single burner, which I actually store that underneath of the bed.
Okay.
It's a gas one dual fuel stove. But this is a custom built cabinet that has a flip down lid, gives me lots of storage for my kitchen stuff. Collapsible sink, my non-stick pan, which I love this thing. The handle comes off and I have another smaller pot that it can go on, so that's very nice. Anytime you can have a double purpose for anything in van life, that's key. But I've tried to just have some type of organization to where, okay, I know that my spatulas are always going to be in this basket. It really helps to keep track of your stuff, to not lose things. And, you know, if you're in a time crunch, it's going to help you get things prepared faster. But it's storage for kitchen stuff, basically, is what I use this for. So everything from cutting boards to garbage bags, a life straw, kitchen knife, spoon. I have my spatula there, my spray. This actually goes up into the basket, but yeah, spray here.
And then up at top, you have this really cool little box shelf.
Yeah, and this, I found that I've had this extra space, so I thought, why not do a little tray where I've tried to put more kitchen stuff. So spices, my dish soap, olive oil.
Okay, and I noticed you have a high enough sides here to where when you're going down the road, if you're going down a bumpy road, that everything stays put pretty well.
Yep, everything stays put pretty good. And I actually, what I do is I have some koozies that I don't really use that often, so I just stick them in here to help add some stability to push everything up against it. Also, one of these little dish cleaning pads, just have that in there.
So it reduces rattles and keeps everything secure.
Exactly.
All right. And I see water here. How does your water work?
So the water is just a simple 12 volt or USB powered. It's a rechargeable pump. I don't know if it's 12. I guess it is 12 volt, but it's a rechargeable USB water pump, and I don't have anything to catch the water. I usually just pour the water directly into a cup of some sort, and I don't ever have any issues with it dripping after I use it. The way I have it set up is I have the tube for the pump. Now this is an aftermarket tube I bought at Home Depot or Lowe's maybe, but the tube, I just matched the size of what comes with it and got a longer version. One trick, if you're going to do that, you want to boil your tube for like 5-10 minutes
in hot water.
In hot water to get it to straighten out.
Oh, I see. Okay.
That's going to allow you to form it, and it goes through all of these shelves, and then it's going to go into the very bottom area where I have additional storage down here. And this is a magnetic lid where I have my 5 gallons of water down here, and this is just overflow storage where I have extra stuff that I accumulate. I have my battery charger here, and this is routed through the cabinet underneath and under the bed to the jackery, so I can plug it in and have it charging. Tool stuff, just an extra peanut butter container. These come in very handy to store things in your van because they're waterproof.
So it's kind of your garage and extra storage, your water.
Yep, got the folding saw, which can come in handy if you don't have an axe or a way to cut any wood.
That's nice.
And then on the side here, beside the cabinet, I don't think we really talked about this last time, but I just have like, these are bags I found in stores. I'm going to try to incorporate these bags some way. And then I also keep a collapsible bucket back here. I have a monopod that hangs here for just in case moments. And then the industrial strength Velcro roll, which comes in very handy to mount your remotes and various things in your van.
All right, cool. And that's stick on?
Stick on, and it's 2 inches? You just peel the back off, and it's industrial strength.
Okay, nice.
And then a new addition, if you've seen the tour of that Steve did last year, I had these cheap 3-drawer plastic storage container here, and I took that out because I didn't like it, and I've replaced it with this table essentially. So this is kind of my coffee station now. So I can have like my artificial sweetener. Recently upgraded to this odor-proof storage container for my coffee. I have backup almond milk there. Got my little mini Mr. coffee maker, and that runs off my 1,000 watt jackery. And this is where I can get my coffee going.
Oh, nice. And
so usually before I hit the sack, I'll go ahead and get my filter in there, get my coffee, get my water.
You can do that from inside the van too, right?
Yes.
Because you have access. You don't have to necessarily step out into the cold or.
Exactly, and that's one thing I love about having it with this design is I can just reach over from my bed and hit the switch, and it starts, and then the whole van fills up with the aroma of coffee.
Right. And I see you have window coverings on the back.
Yep, and this is a 5-layer window covering I kind of made in a hurry, but it's been working. It's the original one that I've used. When I went to Box Fan D's meetup, it kept falling, so I added some tape just to give it a little bit of extra help staying up there. Now I can't take this down if I want to, but I just leave it up.
Yep.
And
you
then
have side mirrors, so you don't really need to view out the back.
Exactly. And this one reason I wanted to get away from the 3 storage container is because the jack and the tire iron for the van is stored in this compartment.
Oh, okay. And you need access to that.
Right. And so I need to get that if anything ever happens. So I've designed this shelf to be removable.
Oh, nice.
So I can empty that shelf off, I can take it out, and I can actually empty out all the stuff.
And your spare tires underneath, right?
Underneath the van,
okay.
Yep.
Very cool. Okay, and so you also added solar. Now I
Yes.
noticed that you have these portable folding solar panel.
Yes, so this solar panel is 120 watt solar from Togo Power, and this is perfect for my small Jackery, the 240 watt hour Jackery. It's compatible.
Oh, go ahead.
It's actually compatible with both of the Jackeries, but it's really, I purchased this for the small Jackery, the 240.
Okay, so this one charges the small Jackery.
Yes.
Okay. And then I see up top, you have a larger solar panel.
This is a new addition since the last tour. This is a 150 watt rich solar monocrystalline panel that I just did my own DIY brackets out of some straps I found at the hardware store, and I replaced the normally you would use these to attach your roof racks, and I replaced this. I just didn't take them out, but I replaced them with Allen head and a washer.
Nice.
So that it would make it a little bit more difficult for someone, because with these anyone could just twist this, and then your whole roof rack would be loose. So that's what I did. I love having this. This is dedicated to the big Jackery 1000 unit.
Now this was a used panel too, right? Did you buy this new or used?
This one I actually bought new because the used one I bought wasn't compatible with the Jackery.
Okay.
So there's like a very specific range of ohms or amps or something that.
Sure.
So I had bought one from Santan Solar and it just wasn't compatible, so I sold the panel.
Okay. So somebody else is using it now.
Yeah.
Yeah, very good.
Yep.
All right. And so you have some lighting outside at night. That's important, especially in the desert.
Yep.
You can see where you're going. And I see this cute little tent, Wolfwise tent.
This is a tent that Wolfwise sent to me to do a review on, which you could find on my channel. But I found it's great to have just to have my little outhouse, so to speak. So I got my bucket in there. I got my, I don't do the regular kitty litter. I do the paper pellets that they still use for kitty litter, but I like the paper pellets better. Just, it's a personal preference.
Sure.
It doesn't really matter.
Right.
But
and then you were going to talk a little bit about your solar light here?
Oh, I was just going to say these are awesome to have because they're motion activated and they're solar powered. And so at night when you're coming out to get into the tent, it's nice to have it here so that you don't trip over the rocks, or there's some broken glass from people, you know, just you never know what could be out here. So you want to have something like that set up.
Exactly. Well, you have a really nice setup here, Marshall, and I enjoyed very much going through it, and thank you for sharing it. Do you have any final thoughts before we conclude?
Final thoughts would be that you know, this lifestyle does have its challenges. There are definitely pros and cons to living this way, but I've found in doing this for the last 2 years or year and a half that the pros far outweigh the cons. And if you've never heard of this lifestyle, I encourage you, check it out. It's a lot of fun, and you don't have to start with the big cargo vans or the RVs that you've seen. You can start with something like this.
That you might already have in your driveway.
You might already have it, which was the case with me. So I already had this, and I wanted to do van life, so I figured out a way to make it work. And now like for example, in Quartzite, I've seen so many more minivans this year. It's just people are learning that they don't have to save up and get the big vans. So I encourage you to check out more info. Check out the links in Steve's video to learn more.
And look at melonomadic.com for advice on how to get started. Thanks, Marshall.
Yeah, thanks for the tour, Steve.
Appreciate it very much. We'll see you next time.
Awesome.